everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new 112 Collective Modern Captain America figure from Mezco Toyz. Now this figure comes packaged in a box, and you actually get the slip case on the box. On the front you have Captain America's shield. On the side, again, you have Captain America's shield, and then on the back you have images of the figure showing off the various accessories and everything. And then you can remove this, and you have an inner box which basically has exactly the same thing. On the back you have the images of the figure and everything, and then on the front you have Captain America's shield. Now this, however, you can open, so if you don't want to take the figure out of the packaging, you can have it displayed. You've got a window box there with the figure clearly displayed on one side, and the other side you just have the American flag. All right, let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging along with the other contents. Now, before I get into the actual review, I just want to say a big thanks to everybody. Today, my channel surpassed 25,000 subscribers. So I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed, watches my videos, likes the videos, comments, and everything. I do really appreciate the support in that regard. Also, I wanted to let you know, if you haven't checked out my Toys for Tots video I did earlier this week, we are giving away $100 store credit to Big Bad Toy Store in that video, so I'll put a link to that video down below, and I highly recommend that you check that out. Okay, so the first thing this figure comes with is this little Ziploc bag, and we see this with all the 112 Collective figures, and this allows you to store all the extra accessories, hands, and everything. It's got the 112 logo on it, and again, it's just a little Ziploc bag. Next up, we have the figure stand slash flight stand, and again, we see this with all the 112 Collective figures. In fact, this is the exact same one that we got with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Captain America figure. So you've got the plastic base that's made to look like Captain America's shield. You've got the little peg here, so you can just stand the figure. The figure has peg holes, and you can just stand it like a regular figure stand. And this works okay. I've had the figures fall off this a couple times, but you know, if you've got a pretty steady shelf, then this will work pretty good. And then you can pop this little peg out, and the easiest way to do that is just to turn this around and then take the peg side of the arm here that you get for the flight stand and just push through like that, and it'll pop that little peg out. And then what you want to do is take this arm and then just plug it into that hole. Now the arm is got multiple points of articulation, so you've got here down at the bottom, here at the midsection, and then up here where the little clamp plugs in, and that's a separate piece. And then you also have articulation with the actual clamp. So you've got up and down movement. Of course, you can rotate here, and then you can do up and down here, up and down here, and up and down here. And each of these points of articulation are attached with screws, so you can loosen or tighten however you want. And then if you want to use the flight arm to have your figure stand up, you just put the clamp around the waist of the figure, and you can do it like under the belt there, and then you can just have it stand normally. And that's actually probably the best way the most secure way to get your figure to stand, because like I said before, that little peg, sometimes the figure will fall off. And then of course you can adjust the arm however you want, so you can put them in jumping and flight poses or whatever you want. The figure comes with 5 different pairs of hands plus 1 additional right hand, so you get a pair of closed-fisted hands, and these are the ones that are attached to the figure when you first take it out of the packaging. Then you get a pair of just regular open hands. Then you get a pair of grip hands for holding the shield or like catching the shield. Then you get a pair of grip hands for like holding the handle of the shield. Then you get a pair of hands where one hand is pointing and one hand has a thumbs up, and then you get a right saluting hand. And the hands are done with a red color, and you've got some black padding, and there's a little bit of wash effect on the hands. So overall, I think the sculpting, detail, and paint applications on the hands are pretty nice. Switching out the hands is easy. You just pull off the hand you want to replace, and you got the little peg on the arm and the hole in the hand, and then you just want to plug in the hand you want to replace it with, and it should snap in there pretty easily, and it'll fit on there nice and tight. This figure comes with 2 different head sculpts, so you get the modern Captain America head sculpt, and this looks like basically the Marvel Now version of Captain America with the wings painted on the side of the helmet, and it's more of a helmet looking than an actual mask. You got the A on the front. So I actually like this head sculpt better than like what we saw with the San Diego Comic-Con version, which was more of the classic look for Cap. And then we get the Steve Rogers unmasked head. And this is the exact same head that we got with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. In fact, all the accessories that come with this figure are basically the exact same ones that came with that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. Switching out the heads is easy. You just pop off the head you want to replace. It's attached with a ball joint, and then you just pop on the head you want to replace it with, and it should pop on there and fit nice and tight. And just like we saw with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version, this figure comes with a knife, and you've got the black handle and the metallic silver for the blade, and the sculpting detail on this is pretty good. Then you also get a pair of grenades, and again, these are done with black and metallic silver. And then you get this water canteen that you can attach to the back of the figure's belt. So you've got already a pouch that's attached, and so if you want, you can pull that off, and you just got the little peg on the belt, and then you can replace it with the water bottle. And for the knife, they've given him a sheath on his left boot, just again like we saw with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version, so you can stick the knife in there if you want. And it comes with this harness piece, which has a metal piece so that you can put the shield that he comes with on the back there. And I like this one a lot better. It's the same one that we got with the Comic-Con exclusive version, only that one was blue. And I like this one much better because it's brown and it looks more realistic, and you've got the metallic silver for the buckles and everything. But I like this brown color more than that blue color that they used on the Comic-Con exclusive version. And it's easy to put on. You just do it around his arms and slide it up over his shoulders. And I think the figure looks good with it, again, because it's got that more realistic brown color to it than the blue. So I like that. And then, like I said, there's this little metal plate here, and then you get the shield, which has a magnet. This little circle thing is a magnet, and so you can just attach it to that metal plate, and it'll stick on his back, and it holds nice and tight there. Now the shield, I like the shield. It's the same shield that we got with the Comic-Con exclusive version, though it's got different paint applications. It's got a more metallic red looking paint and a darker blue in the circle. So I like that. I think it looks more realistic, looks more like a metal shield. The backside is just silver, and that's exactly the same as the Comic-Con exclusive version. And you've got the little handle here so that he can hold it with one of the grip hands, and then he's got that little magnet that I mentioned before. And you'll see he'll hold it nice and tight with the grip hand with that handle. And then there's little metal on these pouches on his wrist as well, so you can use that magnet to secure it even more. In fact, you don't even really have to use the handle if you don't want to. He'll actually just hold the shield with the magnet, but I think it's better if you use the grip hand and have him hold that handle as well. Also, with these grenades, you can also hook them onto the straps, either on the strap of the harness or on his belt, whichever you prefer. But if you want to store the grenades, you can. Okay, so for the figure itself, this is essentially the exact same figure that we got with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. The colors are a little bit different. They're more vibrant and brighter on the Comic-Con exclusive version, and like the belt and the harness are different colors. But overall, it's the same figure, same sculpting of the boots and everything, gloves, same pattern and everything. So again, this is basically just the same figure that we got. The head sculpt is different. It's made to look more like the Marvel Now Captain America as opposed to the classic Captain America. I do like this head sculpt. I think this modern version of Captain America, the Marvel Now Captain America head sculpt, works better on this body than the classic Cap did. So I like that, and good paint applications and nice sculpting detail on the helmet and everything. And then I like the darker colors on this figure better than the brighter ones on the Comic-Con exclusive version. Plus I like the brown on the harness and the belt and everything, and on the pouches on his gloves, and down here on his boots as well. So, and I like the sculpting detail. I like the modern look of the boots and the gloves. And again, I think that works better with this Marvel Now type head sculpt than it did with the classic head sculpt. The pants and the shirt, of course, are cloth, and that's the signature of the 112 collective line. And I think the stitching is pretty good on this. You've got the little pieces, looks like, I guess, are glued on there for the chainmail. I don't know how they attach that to the cloth, but this is a kind of a harder plastic material for the chainmail that's over the cloth. So I like that. And then you've got the star, and this is hard plastic. The star is hard plastic, so I like that. And then you've got the red and white in the midsection, and that looks pretty good. So this figure stands just a hair over 6.5 inches tall. Here's a comparison with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. Here's a comparison with the Hasbro Marvel Legends Marvel Now version of Captain America. Here's a comparison with Mezco's Shadowland Daredevil 112 collective figure, which was a New York Comic-Con exclusive. Here's a comparison with the 112 collective Dawn of Justice armored Batman figure, and I will be looking at the regular Dawn of Justice Batman figure from Mezco in the next day or so. And then finally, here's a comparison with various Marvel Legends figures from both Hasbro and Toy Biz with the Mezco figure. So articulation is pretty much the same with what we saw with the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. The figure does have good head movement. You can turn the head to the left and to the right, and he can look down good, and he can look back pretty good, and you can pivot the head to the left and to the right as well. Arms attached with your standard ball hinge joint there at the shoulder, so he can get his arm out good. As far as rotation goes, because the outfit, the cloth of the outfit gets kind of tangled up, you have to be careful rotating it, but you can get the arm all the way around if you want to. You just have to kind of untwist the costume when you do it. He does have a bicep swivel. I think it's a double hinged elbow, but either way, that's about as much as he can bend his elbow. He's got rotation there at the glove cuff. He's got rotation at the wrist. He's got hinges on the hands. So depending on how you turn the ball joint, you can have him do it forward and back or up and down. He's got a midsection joint, so you've got some rotation there. Again, the costume kind of limits some of that movement. You can also pivot the figure a little bit at this midsection as well. And then he can crunch down a little bit, and he can look back there at the midsection as well. He does not have a waist swivel. He can do the splits about that much. He can get his leg forward about that much, and he can do his leg back about that much. He does have a thigh swivel, I believe, up, very high. And then he's got double jointed knees, so good bending there at the knee. He's got a boot cuff swivel and then hinges on the feet, so he's got some up and down movement. He's got rotation, not really a whole lot in the way of ankle pivot though, and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. Okay, so that's my review. So overall, I like this figure. I definitely like this figure better than the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. It's essentially the same figure, but the minor differences I think are an improvement. I like the darker colors. I like the brown on the harness and the belt and everything. And I like the more modern looking Marvel Now cap head sculpt on this one over the classic one. So again, even though it is essentially the same figure, I like this one a bit better than I did the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive version. So this figure is available now. You can pick it up at places like Big Bad Toy Store. We'll have a full image gallery up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the video description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.